we're on the show The Bachelor, and there's like the typical crazy. I am not a contestant. I am just an observer. And somehow, and I have like all access, maybe like producer type of status, but I don't know what's going to happen. So, kind of like a Juan Pablo kind of a guy, except not Hispanic, just like total jerk. And but like very good looking, very attractive. But then sprinkled throughout the cast are these like kind of like same age ish, like 30s, but like not as attractive, maybe a little over, maybe a little bit more overweight, but like other dudes. And it's not like a gay thing. It's almost as if there's a really hot bachelor who's like, maybe it's like the bachelors, but no one is focused on like these kind of like less attractive dudes. They're just like super nice and just like, you know, like none of them are like complete smoke shows, but like they're super nice, super fun, and like whatever. So all of a sudden one night, oh, and by the way, the hot guy, he's been like hooking up with all the hot girls, and like all the hot girls are mad, and all the unattractive girls are mad too. And, but anyway, so everyone's like pretty pissed off at this point and like pretty fed up with how the whole situation's going, similar to how it went with this bachelor, with Juan Pablo. So, so anyway, one night out of absolutely nowhere, the bachelor and one girl disappear. And, oh, by the way, the bachelor, the hot bachelor, is a professional tennis player. And so, anyway, that's a side note. So anyway, they just disappear. And so over the course of like the next couple like days, like everyone's like looking for them, and like we're like in a tree house, and it's kind of like Swanee with like in terms of like the back roads and like little like very small cabins, and then there's like a fish tank where they could, like where they could be hiding behind. And so we're thinking like, well, the show's over. Like, this is stupid. Everyone should just like continue to hang out because it's still being filmed, I guess. I don't know if it's being filmed. I guess it's being filmed. So anyway, over the course of like the next couple days, and I think it turns into weeks, is that all these hot girls start going for these like token, not so attractive, nice guys. And it's like the best thing ever because they're so nice and they're getting like a lot of action from these like really hot girls. And oh, and there's like hot tubs again, hot tubs and like lagoons ish. And like my mom comes to try to get in with one of these like nice looking or like decent looking, but like not so hot, nice guys. And so, and so anyway, then all of a sudden Chris Harrison, of course, shows up because Chris Harrison's been like kind of silent, hasn't really said a whole lot about like the departure of like the two. And so he comes and he says, well, the Bachelor has returned. And like everyone's kind of like, we don't care, like we hate him. But everyone goes to like where he's like arriving. He's arriving on this like Lego looking thing that kind of comes out of the water like an island that moves, and it's all one color, and he's in a cage with bars and stuff on the top of it. He's sitting there, and inside, or like he gets out and he like lifts up the top of the cage and like climbs down and opens the door to the front of the Lego house. Again, like not Legos, but like it looks like a Lego house. And opens the door, and the girl comes out, and like she just looks like crap. Like she looks like crap in like one of those girls that's been on the show for a really long time. and like she hasn't had her hair done and she's like not wearing makeup. So anyway, she comes out and it's like awkward and like no one says anything. And or maybe Chris Harrison says something like, "Well, is she the only one that came? Like, is that all?" And then he's like, "No, that wasn't the only one that I took with me." And it was like really weird because everyone's like looking around, and then like from around the back, who's been pushing this like island, is some like teenage kid who is maybe like his little brother. So then we kind of like catch a glimpse, maybe like on like big screens or something. I don't know. We somehow catch a glimpse of like his life, this bachelor's life over the past 2 weeks with just this one girl living like quite literally like on this in like a deserted island, but of course that's a tennis court. And he trains for tennis and like goes into this Lego house and she's there. It's basically like the most messed up like human trafficking, Stockholm syndrome kind of a thing where he goes and trains for tennis all day, but like takes breaks and comes in and like sleeps with this bachelorette girl. And so she's furious because she's seen like the true side of him, but all the other girls have also seen the true side of him. Anyway, he kind of comes back and like expects that like all the girls are just gonna fawn back over him, and no one wants anything to do with him, and everyone's going for like the like halfway decent looking dudes. They're like not halfway, like not so attractive yet, very nice and very considerate guys. And so anyway, we then like somehow go into like a huge barn that's has like a water source at the bottom where like people could get in if they wanted to. And there was somebody, a lot of the girls, like everyone's holding like a different type of flower. It's very strange. We're getting ready to like sit down to a dinner. And like I'm hanging out with like the little brother tennis player, like not the bachelor, but like the little brother guy, because I'm not a bachelorette person or whatever. So anyway, so then we see out in the barn, but like in the distance. So maybe this is like another vision or something, that someone shoots a buffalo or like a cow or something, and that's like they immediately like bring it in, or maybe it was like a past, like, oh, this was the past, this is how you got your dinner, and they bring you these huge slabs of steak, and they were like, enjoy. It was so weird. And then I woke up.